Hello, everybody, and welcome back to League Zero Season 3. Today, we're going to be casting Mob Mentality versus Obligation in Week 3. I'm Mob, as always. I'm Mob, as always, partnered with my color caster, Sai.
Hello everyone, and Mob, I'm so glad to be back. I actually missed last week League Zero, and unfortunately, I really hoped I could come and cast with you last couple of games, but other than that, we have a really busy and impactful game right here today. I'm really excited to cast this. Mob, we have Mob Mentality versus Obligation. Both teams have been talked about quite a lot when it comes to power ranking and people's choice. I think this is going to be a big match. Mob, what are your takes on that?
Yeah, I think they're pretty big. I mean, Mob Mentality being the second, Obligation being the third seeds, though Obligation does have that extra loss on the record. So, and Mob Mentality is looking to continue a perfect season. But starting off on Nepal here, I think it's going to be interesting what we see.
Yeah, Nepal is definitely a quite an action impacted map. There's a lot of fights going on all the time, close quarters most of the time. So I'm excited to see what these teams bring together. But looks like the game's about to get started. We have Ryan Zarya with a Sombra Reaper, just a traditional composition.
Crazy.
Looks like a mirror match, but look at that. Red Knight bringing out the Winston against this Reaper. I don't know about that. What do you think?
I think they're playing the meta before the Overwatch League meta before it has obviously evolved over this like week again. But this fight has evolved. Pichu and Red Knight being hacked at the start of the fight. Domination trying to get stuff done with the hammer. The cleave coming up from Red Knight. As it looks like Mob Mentality is going to be taking more and more point pressure. It's basically even Domination hacked, no shield on the side, but Red Knight just melts by the Reaper and the Rhine as he falls early. Phone 1v1ing and he actually wins it on the side. The Reaper down for that Rhine composition is losing a lot of power. Pichu hacked, not able to bubble in the fight. Phone kind of isolated, but he has the way for him to get away. The shield breaks. Just a lot of pressure coming out from Mob Mentality, even though they got
a very early ultimate.
Both sides. Phone finding Domination, making it up in early EMP coming out the side of Obligation, but it doesn't look like it matters as Mob Mentality caps the point.
Wow, and you have to talk about Mob Mentality here. Despite being down their first main tank at the very beginning of the fight, they managed to hold on to the point so consistently. They used their ultimates perfectly. There was a big EMP coming out from Mr. Wolf right there, just really resetting the fight. And Phone, oh my god, even after getting all this pick,
a quick engage from Mob Mentality, but they huge with the Death Blossom following up as Phone finds 4 with the Death Blossom and ties to a charge. Phone being the consistent outlier in these fights. In the first one, he's able to even it up with that pick onto the Reaper, basically winning the fight with that solo pick. And then this, following up with Kilroy's huge EMP, finds 4.
Yeah, and Baby didn't even get a chance to beat right there. He was hacked, and looks like they're coming back with the fight with the Shatter, so we might be seeing some big stuff right here.
Yeah, Shatter, Shatter, Red Knight finds the kill. He throws it down in the grass and on the other side. Red Knight does fall, both main tanks down, but Quirk B, they fall early, but the Coalescence comes out from Mob Mentality, evens it up onto the Reaper. There's so much damage just lost for the side of Obligation as Domination finds 2 with the Fire Strike from downrange. Just the Moira and the Diva left on point as 4 people, but the reinforcements there are there for Mob Mentality.
Look at the percentage, Mob. The percentage is building right now.
If it comes down to a Mob Mentality victory, it could be final fight. The Primal is hacked. He's getting melted down. Jula finding Bastion. Red Knight falling on the other side. And it looks like Obligation pulls up in a beat invested by Baby. Kind of questionable.
Yeah, but they have to go right now. This is the desperation moment. Look at that. They haven't taken the point at all. It's a 95% to 0. And it's still getting contested by Quirk B. And perfect just like 99. That. Yeah, the perfect 99 to finally a flip, but look at the ultimates coming out from Mob Mentality side. They are ready. Jula has a self-destruct and a huge EMP. This could mean everything if the EMP lands on everybody, and the ultimate from Jula is positioned perfectly. This could mean the world. But look at Mr. Wolf. He's lacking around. Oh my god.
EMP is juiced on both sides, but EMP from Kilroy doesn't find anything. Phone gets all out the Shatter. but the Shadow doesn't find anything either. But the ultimate's not very effective on the side of Mob Mentality as they're getting pushed out. They don't have the pressure.
Yeah,
Ooh.
they have to back out right now. Mob Mentality lost their opportunity right there to using the EMP and the bomb at the same time. Sadly, none of them actually connected to any key targets, and Squirrel Ben was just able to finish off people. Now look at Squirrel Ben. He is ready to hit that Q button right there to release his ultimate. Deadly Flourish and that Blossom we're talking about here, and Mr. Wolf not quite there, but you know, it could still mean a lot. Even if Squirrel Ben is able to get 1 or 2 picks, this could mean tightening the fight. But look at Phone has the ultimate ready too.
Coalescence coming in early to try and save Red Knight after that deep dive, and is able to do Death Blossom coming out. It finds domination on the backside, but the Death Blossom on the other side falls to Phone. Death Blossom. The Self-Destruct does knock Jewel out of mech, but that's it. Pichu actually able to get the remech, but immediately gets C-Max from the hack. And Phone just putting so much pressure on the Reaper here. Red Knight jumping into the backline, disrupt the scores. Domination is coming back.
I think this is it, Mob.
Mob Mentality. Yeah, the Moira just trying to suck in the shield. Primal is keeping him off point. They have the Coalescence for sustain. They are going to be able to touch. Domination immediately hacked on the point. EMP does come out, finds for the beat, but the beat comes back and finds all 6 members of Mob Mentality. This Reaper falls on point. Those are the last chance. They have so little damage that I don't think they can turn this. Mob Mentality is going to be taking round 1.
Yeah, looks like Mr. Wolf is just going to try to buy any time possible, but it's just not, you know, not doable at this point. I think when it came to Obligation, their fights early on were really what led them to this downfall. They let Mob Mentality get too much percentage before they could flip the point. Literally 99-0. So I think that's a huge deal when it comes to Obligation. Maybe making these more, you know, more aggressive pushes or even more focused kills would be really a game changer right here. But look at this, Mr. Wolf switching over to that Pharah, using this verticality the map provides really well, and I think they could do a really good job. But I have to say, the duo between the 1v1 between Court P and Baby T was immaculate last game. Court P came out every single time. Every single was there was an EMP. He came out, he hit very well. He didn't get hit by the EMP, and the beat was right there. But let's look at this current match right here. Mr. Wolf hovering over at the top of Mob Mentality, just trying to get some
going so aggressive in here. They know that the fail is up there. Jula finds Pichu, and Quit finds Basket, and it's just able to all clean up. They know the disadvantage of the fail composition. It is 4v6 on the ground, and that's what you have to do. Play fast. That's what this composition was made for.
Yeah, but looks like Court B does get taken off the board, but it doesn't really matter. He's loose here. He could just, you know, easily glide back. So that's
going to get a recontest.
Yeah, but look at Mob Mentality. I really like the fact that they played around the Pharaoh composition so well. Looks like another fight is breaking out.
Very early Coalescence coming up from Chudongo to dissuade the push to wait for Quirk P to get back. They are so important in this fight as the charge does land up to Jula as Jula finds Pichu as well. Domination kind of is super low in that little side room, gets finished off by a melee and Quit. Mr. Wolf doing the
this might be a barrage right here.
A barrage is ready on the side. Nano barrage comes in, finds Phone, knocks Jula out of the mech, and it's going to be Obligation taking first cap. Or the first cap of the match.
I don't know if Nano was really needed there because everybody was still low and they were compacted inside that point right there. So I don't think Nano was really necessary, but hey, whatever gets the job done. I'm glad for Mr. Wolf. He got a nice ult right there. Even had a backup shield from Pichu on him just in case he doesn't take any splash damage and kills himself. Well, look at this. Squirrel Ben has his ultimate ready, and so does Domination. So we might be seeing a huge shatter coming out here.
Yeah, this is the true test of getting through the chokes, and they actually do it expertly. The ultimate's all coming online as Primal is used to knock back.
Oh my god!
The EMP finds 2. Mr. Wolf is the ground fair now as he knocks Red Knight just popping off of the Primal in the close range, and this is just going to be a very quick flip for Mob Mentality.
Well, if there is a raging gorilla jumping at you, you do not want to be in a small... You don't want to be in a small environment, especially when you could get knocked off of the map. And I just loved how aggressive Red Knight was about that. He saw the opportunity. He saw everybody just bundle up in that small room. He just like, oh, well, I'm just going to go Primal Rage and just knock them all off. And that's all they did. They literally used only one ultimate right there to win the entire team fight. But look at the side. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even
Oh,
see that.
Shadow comes in and finds two, and it's just enough with the combined barrage. That's all they really needed. Killline
Court
quit. Oh,
P.
actually shooting it back, but it's not going to be able to win that as Red Knight is slapped, quit, Killboy being the only ones. The West does come out, and that's just the end of the fight very quickly. But they
Yeah.
have a lot of percentage.
They do have a lot of percentage, and a decent amount of ults were used, but look at the side of Mob Mentality. They have Phone has
Right,
Death
right.
Blossom, Court P also has Beat, so I don't think they're going to lose the next fight anyways. But I do want to mention out Court P. They took on the opposing Pharah by themselves. Like, he literally killed her solo last fight, so that's very interesting.
One thing I want to mention is they don't want to beat for this grab dragons. The grab comes out, it finds both supports. The beat, it gets immediately thrown out. Death Blossom for Phone is huge in the tech line. No one's even looking over there. Domination falls right back. The pharmacy is the only one that's left, and they're not going to last too long. As now Mob Mentality just put the game into a final fight scenario.
Yeah, and you have to look at this for Obligation. It does not look good when it comes to ult economy. They only have Squirrel Ben's ult to win this final fight, and that's not enough.
Dragon from spawn? Oh, from that little area, it doesn't find anything. Brings Kurt low and allows their entrance. But Kilroy is building up on that EMP. Is going to be able to send it out very quick. And it does, and it only finds two, but it might be enough. Nano does come out for sustain. The Tracer is on the point. Pichu gets knocked out of the mech as Red Knight falls. But picks coming out left and right from Mob Mentality. Just whittling down the numbers. Squirben's forced to touch, but that's it. Mob Mentality are going to take the first map 2-0.
Yeah, and such a domination coming out from Mob Mentality right here, really showing why they won the last week's match. Like, this looked really promising from them. And now we'll be going ahead. Hey, I get to see Red Knight pushing people off with Primal Rage. You don't necessarily see them a lot, but look at that. They were just all there. This is just asking to die against the Primal Winston. Look at that. He's just hitting people off left and right, killing them. And this was just amazing. Like, he saw the opportunity, just jumped the gun right away, killing them super quickly. But again, a brilliant gameplay from Mob coming out. I think Obligation definitely has the mindset and the strategies to take these points away from Mob Mentality, but it's just not coming. They're not just coming close enough. They need to make these moves really quickly. Also, the 1v1 potential between these players are a huge difference, because Phone is beating Squirrel Ben every single time when it comes to a Reaper gameplay. Also, Court P is beating Baby T in the Lucio gameplay. So if you cannot have, especially in this meta, you can't have a solid Lucio or Reaper player, you're really at a disadvantage, because you need, those are one of the two main components of playing this brawly, fast, just go in and kill everything meta, where Lucy needs to be able to stay alive and give you speed boost, your team speed boost, on and off, understanding when to speed boost and not. And Reaper, like Phone, as you've seen, needs to get those killed. He needs to get those picks and build up his ultimate. So I think those are some really good gameplay coming out from Mob Mentality. Obligation definitely needs to pick it up a little bit, but next match is Dorado Mob, one of my favorite maps actually to watch. What are your thoughts on that?
Dorado definitely want to play for this brawly style as opposed to the dive. Obligation domination specifically showing that they favor the Ryan Zarya as opposed to the Winston Diva, which I believe on paper the Winston Diva is just better with proper coordination on their side, which they do seem to have. Phone being one of, if not the best Reaper in Intermediate, as currently also holder of the first ever 6K for League Zero Season 3, is just honestly making a mess of the Ryan Zarya composition. He's going on these alternate angles, not far enough to put him at risk, but also close enough to deal insane damage to the tank line, and just really popping off with that.
Yeah, definitely. What you have mentioned right there is the case right here, but maybe we'll see any different.
We might see the Sigma Hog that is prevalent in Overwatch League. I was actually surprised to not see it, as Overwatch League meta normally transitions into these lower levels, but these teams do have a lot of practice on this previous meta, so I would expect them to default to it. But a good Hog and Sigma player could match. Looks like we're going to stick to the normalcy, though.
Yeah, looks like they will be going. And Mr. Wolf going back to his Pharah gameplay wasn't too shabby the last match we've seen. But then again, this might be a different story, because Squirrel Ben is on the Widowmaker. So a lot of different composition. We're seeing a lot of unorthodox picks coming out considering the meta right now, but it could actually work.
I really don't. I think it's a really good, and also he can actually scout as he's doing right now above the rooftops with the fire. If he sticks with it, which I believe he will, this does not bode well because Mob Mentality has shown they know how to play against the Pharah and with the Widow as well. It means they can play so fast and turn this into a 3v6 very quickly.
Yeah, we definitely have seen them do that as you know they were playing, and you know they know how to play against the Pharah. They know how to be aggressive properly, not die, just go there and just die. But looks like that's what they're doing. They literally just, you know, hiding around the corners, avoiding and giving Pharah any ultimate recharge, but giving up a lot of space. Actually, this is almost halfway through the point.
Yeah, they know the wind conditions play around this corner and go fast on it. That's what they do. They try and isolate the Widow, and she's able to grapple away, but the Winston is following. Jula finds the pick. Pichu falling super low on the mech, but all the members of Mob Mentality falling super low. They need to get them the heals. The Pharah not proving to be as effective in this fight as they wanted it to be. Pichu knocked down the mech, forced the retreat, and the Mob Mentality is going to take the fight.
Yeah, and it was just that quickly. As you talked about Mob, you know, Mob again, we do have our color I mean, Playcaster's name is also Mob, so don't get confused, chat. But yeah, Mob, as you talked about, Mob Mentality knows how to play against this Pharah. They knew how to avoid the damage and just go straight for the team, the main meat, the body. So it looks like they will be doing the same thing here, but we do have a switch from Mr. Wolf coming.
The fight is coming out on with the Coalescence early with the build advantage, but the Killroy does fall as he translocates, but the Coalescence evens out both Zombies down and Domination falling on that Winston. Not shown much of it in this fight. And the Reaper with no Wraith Form is probably likely to fall, but the defense matrix actually saves him as Mob Mentality wins yet another.
Yeah, and
but it's self-destruct. It goes in to try to find anyone, but they don't do it. They re-engage. Not everyone.
Maybe it was. Yeah, maybe it was just for zoning purposes here. Looks like they all be taking possession of the cart.
Coalescence does come out from the side of Obligation. The EMP is ready, and it's huge. It finds
oh my god!
Death Blossom following it up. It's huge. Bone finding 3. And that's all they needed. 2 Qs and some W in there. As Mob Mentality takes the 3rd fight on Dorado.
Yeah, and it just feels like history is repeating themselves. Yeah, and it just feels like history is repeating itself like over and over again. Every single time, I feel like Obligations are having a hard time tracking Killroy and his EMP, and they're just getting caught off guard every single time. It's causing them to lose all these fights because Phone could just easily hit that Q button and ult everyone and kill them right away.
Oh, but there's a flank from the Winston and the Reaper going on the right side. Actually, the whole team's there, so it's not really a flank. But they're opting to take a different position. Very smart, knowing if we're not going to hit our head on the same wall 4 times, we'll keep it at 3. As Mob Mentality with the ultimate advantage, the EMP comes out, finds 3, but the beat was hiding and waiting. The 6 people gets hit with the beat that saves everyone. Squirrelband ready with the Death Blossom, gets sent out. Defense Matrix uses it, and oh no, the Primal from Red Knight actually knocks it out of the Defense Matrix, killing Killroy. As Mob Mentality now down to player to look for a miracle. As Red Knight falls
down 2 actually.
Forced back. Phone forced to Wraith away, and he's not going to live much longer after that. Obligation taking the first fight of the map.
Yeah, and that was just such an unfortunate event right there. As you mentioned, you know, Killroy actually, Red Knight actually hits Squirrel into Killroy and just kills him right away. So, you know, just a sad thing right there. But looks like Jula does have the ultimate. I don't think they will be using it right here because it, you know, basically the point taken. And Red Knight gets actually binked on the head by Squirrel Ben. Like, that's him dead. He has to see that gray skin.
Re-engage. Like, the whole team was there to re-engage, but he wasn't able to touch in time. If the re-engage did happen, I think they would have won it. Look at the ultimate advantage.
Yeah, looks like Killroy has another EMP. Now this time, Obligation has to be careful. They need to track Killroy right here. If not, the same thing will happen again. A 5-man EMP with a Death Blossom. But Baby, look at Baby T. He does have his ultimate coming up. Beat coming
Obligation.
Up. So maybe that could be... Yeah, that could be a...
The EMP self-destruct, the self-destruct was too high, but it doesn't matter. They have the follow-up. Both Winstons on the fight. Coalescence coming out to try and save. Baby does have that sound barrier, and the Death Blossom is used, but he gets hacked out of it with the EMP from Mr. Wolf, which is bigger, and Obligation's actually going to be able to clean up.
That is so unfortunate to see, Mob. Like, I was hoping something would land right there with all the ultimates mob mentality had. It's just sad to see all this ultimate just go down the drain because
Yeah,
it all
Jula
really
kinda making a
started.
mistake there.
Yeah, it all started with Jula's ultimate right there. Since Jula's ultimate did not land, mob mentality had to rush and make up for it, and by doing that, they lost everything.
Beat engage early. They know they don't have the EMP, so they don't have to worry about it. The bomb is thrown into the back, doesn't find anything, but Red Knight is so low. As soon as he gets unhacked, he pops the primal, disrupting into the backline. Both divas out of the fight. Domination, though, falling as well. Baby dropping the beat and only finding him and Ben. Duo EMP, and it's not going to even save them as mob mentality actually swings the pendulum the other way.
Yeah, man, looks like Mr. Wolf is just lingering around at the behind the scenes, just trying to build up his ultimate right here. But if you look at a Squirrel Ben, it actually has Death Blossom with Domination having that primal rage. So I'm expecting a huge EMP Death Blossom right here at the very end while we have only 50 seconds left to contest this point.
Mr. Wolf is on point. He has the EMP ready. He throws the translocator and finds 3. Red Knight is isolated on the ground. He is able to separate. The Death Blossom finds 4P. Mr. Wolf falls. The counter EMP is big. He dies immediately after, but it finds 5. The Death Blossom does come out and finds Sugar Happy, but Pichu just popped off and found 3. Make it 4.
Oh no!
As obligation.
I have to say, Obligations were quite lucky that they won that fight right here because Mr. Wolf got hacked early and lost, and it's just wow. I'm actually quite stoked the fact that Obligations were about to win that fight, but looks like Pichu does have an ultimate coming out. Domination still has this primal rage, so we might be seeing some angry gorilla just knocking on the door of mob mentality to finish this point.
Yeah, Jula engaging with the bomb, just disrupting the area. It lands inside the bubble as Jula gets killed out of the mech, maybe falling out a little bit too active. That we were able to find a headshot. Domination popping the primal phone, using the wraith form to get away, but he gets knocked back into the backline. He doesn't have his wraith form, and he's so isolated, and he falls immediately after Pichu finding one as well. Mob mentality needs to back out.
Yeah, they do, and actually both Lucius from both teams are actually down right now. So Court P will make it back to his team faster, but looks like a self-destruct.
Finds Jula.
How? What? We're so high up.
No idea. Counter EMP comes out, but there's not a lot of follow-up there. There's 3 people dead. Death Blossom is used solo onto Phone. Doesn't even find him. Phone 99. He wants to hit the Q button, but he can't. He falls. Red Knight coming back with that primal rage. Just try and stall it as long as possible. The EMP comes out. Court is hacked with the beat. He's hiding, trying, waiting for the to run out. And he gets.
Oh no!
Just knocks it out. Phone coming back with the Death Blossom, but he's able to use it, but not in time, and it wouldn't have even mattered. He does actually kill during the beat, but Obligation are going to be capping with very little time left.
Wow, I have to give it to Mr. Wolf. He really stepped it out there with that Sombra gameplay right there, hacking the Lucio, hacking Court B just before they're about to hit the ground with that beat. I think that was pretty crucial, because if not, then mob mentality would have stalled that point out until all their members were up and online. So I think that was a crucial moment right there to end the game as quickly as possible.
Yeah, a bigger stall could have come out with that beat, or even a clutch from Phone with the Death Blossom, but that manual hack really shut him down. And yes, here it is.
Ooh, this is what we like to see. You talked about it, and Mob, you talked about this whole Sigma and Hog combination for tanks coming in. Also Squirrel Ben is on, looks like a lot of firepower coming out of Obligation, as Squirrel Ben will be going to Junkrat and Mr. Wolf on that Ash. So a lot of crossfire and a lot of spam damage coming out from both the teams, actually more so in Obligation side. But talk to me about how this Domination Pichu should be playing this composition coming into playing Sigma and Hog against a Diva and Winston.
Normally this composition is played with the Hanzo Widow, with the tanks being the primary deteriorator of the dive, but with the Junkrat and the Ash, actually there is not a very clear dive target, as it provides a lot of pressure without Winston Shield not able to withstand a lot of it. So basically they're just playing for damage and picks your phone, harassing the Roadhog. Domination, he has to play with the rest of his team here. Not go into those solo flanks. Jula getting knocked by Red Knight, actually uncharacteristically missing a primal. Domination's hacked in the backline as Mr. Wolf finds a headshot on the court. They fall early as the hook comes on to Winston. Domination forced to use the heal of Phone, falling as well by Squill. Able to just like use that spam damage and find him. Hack comes out of the Domination. He cancels his hook animation actually. But these players need to either die or get out. A big anti lands onto them as well, and that's just gonna be great.
Yeah. Because look at all the ultimate charge given away to Obligations right there. Squirrel Ben coming out huge that fight. Getting so many picks, and Mr. Wolf just landing those headshots. You just see red arrows all over the kill feed Mob. So that's a huge deal right here. But almost everybody on the side of Obligation has their ultimates ready. Well, Mob Mentality, we're literally just seeing, you know, a Moira ult being built right now. But looks like they will be going in with the ultimate. A dive comes out.
Dive comes out to Mr. Wolf, and he actually falls down below as the coach gun sends him a little bit too far over the edge. Bob is thrown out, but he's down there. He's not able to do anything.
Oh my god, Trigger Happy.
But Trigger Happy kills Jula with the anti as they actually continue going to point. Dongo ready with the Coalescence, pops it. Phone is slept, beams down Mr. Wolf with it. Trigger Happy trying to get away from that Coalescence beam. Phone finding Domination. And look, just like Domino's Obligation, their defense will fall. The Tire trying to clutch does find Phone, but that res onto Domination. Oh, this is turnable. Domination on the Roadhog has 1,000 basically effective HP. Red Knight actually killing Pichu with the melee. The Squirrel Ben finding two, one with the Squirrel's Domination, using that whole hog to try and keep it going. Red Knight finding him. Mr. Wolf coming back to the fight onto the Ash. He's able to just be kept alive by Trigger Happy's Ana, getting knocked away by the Primal. The Primal is slept into the backline. Trigger Happy the only one left, and it's actually going to be Mob Mentality despite the attempt at the clutch, taking point A.
Yeah, and you know, you hate to see it. Pichu actually had his ultimate the entire time for the last fight, but he got hacked multiple times. But looks like Trigger Happy does have a nano boost ready, so we might see a nano Reaper maybe just to help him build his ult. But looks like a 1v1 at the top of the terrace is going on against Phone, but Squirrel Ben gets hacked.
The Death Blossom comes out onto the backline and finds Trigger Happy, but Phone hacks forward and pays with his life. But it is a good trade that I would take any other day. Squirrel Ben finding Red Knight. That lack of damage is definitely punishing. The Coalescence coming back, Killway finding Pichu. It's even on both sides, 2 for 2. Jula does have that self-destruct if he gets knocked out of the back. Red Knight, Domination coming to high ground. Wes actually comes out onto Pichu on that Sigma. Probably wanted to actually switch off. Trigger Happy still holding on to this nano boost. Self-destruct, it's on into the back one. Oh, and he tries to bomb it, but he messes up. Nano comes out onto Domination as he dies immediately to the bomb. Domination just messing up the Winston mechanics, honestly, and missing that bubble onto the bomb. Very heroic play, but did not turn out.
Yeah, but I also have to talk about Jula's bomb positioning. That was such a good positioning from Jula right there. Because if they didn't shield it, they would be forced to go into the team. But look at this.
Squirrel finds Jula as he immediately knocks out the back. Manuel hacked out, but the damage is already done. 2 dead for Mob Mentality, make it 3. And more will follow back into the spawn. Mr. Wolf finding 3 and actually another EMP.
Yeah, and now look at this. I think Mr. Wolf needs to hit this EMP, including Corp P, because Corp P, they have been hiding away from EMP so many different times and be able to get so much value out of it. So I think if they could catch Corp P on this EMP this time, they could win this fight on a high condition. But look at this, a whole rotation flank coming out. I think, yeah, both team know. But Obligation does have the higher ground, so this could mean a big EMP right here.
As he finds 4, and it gets hacked. Wait, Mr. Wolf gets hacked out. Oh, Killboy got hacked out of his EMP. Killboy using the EMP at the same time as Wolf canceling it. The beat does come out, but that EMP on the other side is not a problem. But Phone going big with the Death Blossom, finding 3, including the mech. And actually, the Death Blossom being the deciding factor for Mob Mentality taking point B.
Yeah, and just like that, Mob, I talked about this again and again. Corp P did not get caught in that EMP at all. They're just so good at hiding from these EMPs, and they're making it work. They're actually carrying their team at this point, because every single time an EMP comes out, Corp P is ready to answer back with a beat right there. And yeah, I think Mr. Wolf just needs to keep an eye out for Corp P and to catch him, if anything, on these EMPs, because at this point, Mob Mentality just... I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
They had to get out of their spawn and forced
That's
to use
true.
it. Self-destruct coming online from Mamatia. The EMP finds 5 as the kills come back, but obviously it's Obligation pulling ahead with that Coalescence, beaming down kill. Like Pichu can knock down the mech. Phone barely avoiding the hack that would have certainly led to his death, but Obligation
Now,
hit Pichu.
yeah, now some of these bomb placements from Jula are quite questionable. Right there, Jula did not need to send out. Oh my god.
The pendulum goes the other way as Raw Mentality are able to hold on as the beat is used to try and sustain Red Knight into the background. Squirrel trying to beam him down, and he does, but Domination falling to the opposing Reaper. Both main tanks down. Squirrel immediately dying when he uses Death Blossom. The EMP though finds the 5 remaining members.
Corpy is down.
Knocked back. Phone falling is again. Both divas brawling onto the point with their heels. Baby actually getting hacked on point and dying. Pichu knocked
This
back.
might be turnable.
The bubble Coalescence coming from Obligation. Obligation will actually hold on with that defender spawn advantage.
Yeah, that is definitely turnable. And oh, I don't know about that. Jumping into that Red Knight, but he does. Looks like Domination will be walking away from half of his health only. Now, as I was talking about earlier, I don't know about some of these bomb placements coming out from Jula. Right there, everybody on Obligation was, EMP'd inside a closed area, and Jula decided to send out the bomb in the air. So they could have easily gotten a 5k right there if they just threw it inside the whole entire room. But looks like we do have another rotation coming out from Mob Mentality. They want to take the high ground. Let's see if they can manage doing anything with this.
Yeah, big wraparound gives them positional advantage. They have a huge ultimate advantage here as well. They need to hit the go button now. The Coalescence comes, Primal follows, Pichu hack, knocked out the mech, not able to use that self-destruct. Domination forces the pop for Primal. Phone with another Death Blossom and finds Mr. Wolf. Jula knocking onto Pichu. Beat coming out just for celebration, I believe. Killboy has the EMP, but I don't think he's going to need it. Domination, the last remaining victor on the point, as he soon becomes the losers, as Mob Mentality are going to cap with 2 more seconds than Obligation.
Ooh, I think both teams, Obligation definitely put up a much harder fight against this match. If you compare it to the last one, when we see what we seen from Nepal, I think their Hog and Sigma composition with Ben on the Junkrat was a really good choice. They burnt a lot of time off of the clock of Mob Mentality and did a lot of damage. So I'm really happy to see what they're doing right now, the changes they're making. They're adapting, but they need to adapt faster because Court P, this man, I mean, they just don't get hit with any EMP. I sound like a broken record right now, but Court P, they're just so good. They're hiding for every single EMP, and I think Mr. Wolf and the whole team Obligation needs to pay attention to that more, because every single time they're answering back to every single EMP with their ult. And we have to talk about Phone here. Phone is it me mob, or every single time we see a fight, Phone comes in ready with a ultimate? Like every single fight we have seen so far, every single fight Phone has a ultimate. Yeah, compared to Squirrel Ben, I think that's another thing. If they could get these differences worked out between both these players and even match them, I think Obligation has what it takes to to defeat Mob Mentality right here.
Yeah, Obligation just trying to pull out on this comp. Mr. Wolf doing scouting. Mob Mentality doing the same exact thing as last time. Let's see if it works better. Not actually opting for the failure, just going for this neutral game, trying to beat them at this one singular composition. Quit is hacked into the back. Just poking onto the high ground, both pushing this car. Every little inch matters, or in this case meters, because we are in Dorado, not America. As Mob Mentality drops and actually opts to hold this whole corner that can play so aggressive as they do, and Domination falls. And Red Knight just able to hold this corner, cleave through it. Pichu is hacked, falls immediately after, and this is the go button for Mob Mentality. This is just cleanup. Pichu actually not getting killed on the point, staggered out with 11 seconds, so they're not going to be able to get back to point in time. They're going to have to go 5v6. Chudongo with the Coalescence, ready to go into another fight. Killboy already charged up that EMP. This is looking dire for Mob Mentality. Pause coming out right at the last second, overtime hitting. Coalescence coming. Red Knight did appear to have some lag issues as he was standing still and holding left click. If he does leave out of the game, that could opt very bad for this overtime push, as he would be transported back to spawn, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was a quite clutch pause, I should say. But let's talk about this fight right here. That the long-winded fight. Op mentality just looked so in control the entire time. There were some attempts from Mr. Wolf to hack Court B and even make maybe use one burn one of their cooldowns or get them low at least so their team could jump on and kill them as soon as possible. But looks like it really didn't make any sense. They couldn't get the kill on Court P. And if we talk about phone right here, look at the ultimate charges. Killrow already has an EMP. True Donger already has a coalescence ready, and from the side of obligations we are yet to see any ultimates anytime close. Only Trigger Happy is providing them with some healing and damage, but other than that I think this overtime push is pretty much over coming into this mob. I think mob mentality will just go ahead, throw down the EMP, phone will just walk through everyone, just boom boom boom, hit that, hit all the headshots or body shots, it doesn't really matter because he's a reaper, and just kill, decimate anybody he seems like. That's what actually happened to Dominations earlier in the fight. Domination just got decimated by phone right away on the spot. So I think we are so I think this overtime is pretty much over for obligations. Mob
Red Knight
mentality should take
actually
this.
is back onto his PC.
Oh, so we do have some updates right here. I think the timer's going down.
Kilroy with SMP looking to follow up with the coalescence. If they're all grouped up, they need to find a big EMP right here, right now. Kilroy does find it. Everyone but Pichu 500 it with the coalescence coming out of the B just for sustain. Mr. Wolf coming up under the EMP. He gets it and he hits it. It finds all 6 members, but there's nobody there. There's no damage. It's just the tanks. And this overtime push is going to come to the end with the Domination Desperation Primal. Mob mentality setting the bar quite low to leap over an obligation halted.
And for a second there, I thought actually Mr. Wolf got hacked out of his EMP because I saw the EMP come on, but I didn't actually see the entire animation. So I thought he got hacked, but looks like that wasn't the case. But let's see what happens right here. We are pretty close. Like, they don't have to go that far, like literally right down the hallway, and mob mentality will take this opportunity to win. But you can never count out any match of Overwatch, actually, because anything could happen. This is a very complicated game with a lot of things goes on. So even a single pick could mean the whole entire world right now. From Domination, even if Domination gets a little hook, or Pichu lands a great stun with his stone, or even Mr. Wolf gets a clean headshot, as we have seen done it before. So they need to be, mob mentality need to be really careful and not give away all these kills like they did the last time. We've seen Obligation play this composition with Hog, Sigma, Ash, Junkrat, and Merciana. So really need to be very careful here. But if they could, I think if mob mentality could just hide behind all the damage that's been thrown out, I think they could just literally go on the corner and take the point.
Yeah, I don't really like the Ash pick here. It is a glaring weakness or a dive target for both tanks of mob mentality. They might be able to capitalize on it, but the pressure, if Domination sticks with it, as Red Knight actually falls to a damage boosted Ash headshot. So much damage, phone teleporting onto the high ground, harassing. He's able to get out. Red Knight, but without Red Knight, they can't really push. Jula gets knocked out.
Ooh, Jula.
Hook is avoided, but that
I think that's a good thing, actually. Yeah, that's a good thing that they didn't hook Jula right away and executed them. Now Jula has to go back.
Mr. Wolf almost already with a bomb. 30 seconds into this round, as he's gonna be able to get it in this final fight. The regroup is there with a Sombra in the back.
Yeah, but look at Kilroy.
The dive does come out onto the Ash, but he's so low, but it's able to get away. Squirrelband does fall the phone. Bob gets thrown onto the point. His phone gets antied. He's able to wait for him away. Mr. Wolf trying to charge up Kilroy, killing Baby with this mob mentality, pushing harder and harder onto this Pichu shield, falling. Domination just getting shredded through this. The mob mentality will just cap and take Dorado 4-3.
You really hate to see this. I was hoping would see a win from Obligation right there. They were playing fantastic in this game, but looks like we will see the three-man bomb coming out from Jula right there. Actually, the only bomb I think that got anything the entire game. So let's look at this right here. A perfect positioning. You know, that positioning for the bomb was so crucial because it would force, if you don't, you know, if you don't shield this, you are forced to go into the enemy team and just die. If you back up, you get killed by the bomb. So
Squirrelben actually getting MVP of the match by the game, not by us, with a 60% match on fire. It's been so long since I've seen that card. Yeah, I wish we got to see it, but that was actually just domination messing up a little bit with those Winston mechanics. But what an interesting map we saw. I think Obligation, that composition, they would have the tank line and the sports correct, but they compositionally, actually you want a Zen instead of the Ana for extra damage, but compositionally they were just playing it incorrectly against that dive, so the dive was able to just whittle them down little by little when it's actually supposed to be the other side. I think because this comp is so new, as all of us down at this level haven't seen it. Only actually, it appeared on Thursday night with the Overwatch League coming back, starting at San Francisco Shock vs Seoul Dynasty, showing that composition played with the double snipers at extremely high level, relying on pick potential with the Zenyatta, Widow, and Hanzo, and team coordination with the Sigma, Mercy, and Hog. But playing these kind of as a shadow dive with that, almost playing it like the Winston D.Va Samba comp, but instead with the Roadhog Sigma, is not going to work. It's a completely compositionally different style, almost reminiscent to the 27 or the 2018 Grand Finals meta.
yeah, and I think you know, despite going up against mob mentality and so many dieable objects, I think Obligation did a very good job of buying the time they did. And I mentioned this before even the round started, the very last round started. I talked about how if Mr. Wolf could get a sweet headshot, and which he did actually at the very beginning, they could buy a lot of time. It's just the dieable targets. And this entire thing that started, their composition fell apart at the very ending, was because actually Squirrelben getting caught out, not really caring about the Sombra, the other team, which was Kilroy. He was able to hack Squirrelben really quickly and just get him down low health wise, and Phone was able to just teleport up there and boom boom kill him really quickly. That's a huge part of your DPS down. That gives mob mentality literally the go button to just go in, just dive on people as soon as possible and take them out. So I think Obligation did much better coming into this game in Dorado, but they need to step it up in Volskaya, because this is not a match. This is not a map that you want to mess around in. Volskaya is a type of map where you either get destroyed first point and then get snowballed second point, or you hold on to first point as much as you can, then lose it second point, you literally defend the entire game. So it really depends. I think if mob mentality could get a really good start in their first point in Volskaya, they could use that snowball and just keep rolling it until the very end. And Obligation needs to be very careful when it comes to that. Okay, looks like we have some picks coming out. Domination getting on that Reinhardt, Pichu on that D.Va.
Muted. My dog came in barking a second ago and I forgot to unmute it. As I was saying, yeah, you got to be very careful of that snowball mechanic on Assault as they tried to change it. It really did not work. Showing this composition, I think they might actually running this double sniper that is reminiscent of that Hog Sigma, but this Reinhardt will not work. I'm telling you, if they stay on this, they will not cap A. And would they go for it? Obviously, that can not be true. That's just me over exaggerating. But this first fight is going to ensue quickly. Double sniper mixing with the Vine Brawl is very interesting. They're relying on that pick potential, but losing a lot of that frontline damage.
Yeah, and you know, you have to take in consideration that you have Phone, Kilroy, these type of DPS, they could just get away really easily. So hitting shots with this double sniper
Dive comes out onto the Hanzo. Hanzo able to just get away barely. Kilroy finding Baby. Mob mentality knocking 2 melee kills actually Domination is hacked on the Reinhardt, gonna fall very soon. He's able to actually hold his shield up and land a charge, but he dies immediately after.
Yeah, and this is what I was just talking about right here, that you could go this double sniper where with Widow and Hanzo, but it'll be really hard to land these shots because we're talking about Kilroy, who literally is invisible majority of the time, and Phone, the moment Phone gets shot, he'll just go invincible and just walk away, phase through everything. Oh my god, as I talk about him, Phone gets taken down literally to 1 HP. But it looks like he'll be getting all the health back.
Mr. Wolf Bear gonna be regretting not charging that for a millisecond more, as that pick could have let open the door wide open. As Red Knight dives straight and not afraid, and the charge makes him dead. As Phone follows up, and a very questionable position as Domination is able to find 3, land an Earth Shadow for celebration, I believe. Make it 4, make it 5, give him 6. Don't.
Will he get it? Will he get it?
No, he will not,
no.
baby. He does get the assist. Domination finding 5.5 kills.
Okay, you know what? Obligations. They're trying to prove me wrong right here. I was talking all this smack about running double sniper, but it doesn't matter. They pulled ahead, and looks like now Mr. Wolf will be using his ultimate to get sight as much as possible, get all the information. Pichu also has a bomb ready, so we have to be really careful. But look at Red Knight. He has a Primal coming on his way.
Dive comes out. He gets knocked away. Primal is ready if he gets into a dangerous position. Coalescence coming out for Mob Mentality. Domination gets thrown down. Bomb gets sent to the back, but it's too high. It doesn't find anything. Pichu is able to remech, but Jula, with the sonic arrows stuck to their back, is going to keep hitting forward. Red Knight being extremely aggressive this match and actually costing them A, continues with the aggression, this time not falling, and Phone barely able to get out of harm's way.
Yeah, but look at Kilroy. He has a EMP ready, but Squirrel Ben also has a dragon, so I'm excited to see how they're going to use this. But look at Phone.
EMP comes out, finds 4. Coalescence coming in for the side of Obligation, is able to keep the players alive for this short period of time. Primal does come out from Red Knight. They're hitting this aggression really hard. The Hans are so low in the backline, but Domination is left alone in the front line. Mr. Wolf falling to a melee as well. Quippy so aggressive on this Lucio. Red Knight Primal fading. Hanzo does land a headshot onto Jula, but the aggression keeps going. Pichu's knocked out of the mech.
Yeah, and I really liked what I seen from Phone right there. He had the opportunity to ult right there and get maybe 2-3 kills, but he held off to his ultimate Death Blossom for the next coming fight. As I think that was a reset fall, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, that was just a reset. Yeah, but as I was talking about now, what baby T has to do, he needs to stay alive during this ultimate from Phone so he could beat and keep his team healthy throughout the entire fight. But Domination also has a shatter ready, so I'm really excited to see this next fight. I think this will be a very explosive fight coming in.
Yeah, Domination looking to finish it up. He does get hacked. He doesn't have the ultimate yet, so they don't know. But Phone actually finds the Lucio, but dies to the Hanzo Storm Arrow. The bomb thrown in onto the back. Not able to find anything as Quip finds Mr. Wolf again. Domination now shown to have the shadow. He lays it down, doesn't find anything, but Squirrel goes crazy and finds 3. Jula runs away knowing that this is going to around the corner, and she falls out into the charge from Domination as 1 tick goes to Obligation. Phone up top trying to not let them. 2 comes out.
Oh my god, Squirrel Ben, calm down.
Red Knight touches Kilroy, falling immediately with the EMP. The beat comes out. The shield is able to block that self-destruct because he doesn't get anything done. EMP is coming out online, is so close to coming in, and he does. It finds all 6 members. The beat is not able to be thrown
Doesn't
out,
matter, nobody's there.
No one can follow up onto that damage. The beat comes out from Baby when the hack expires. Red Knight gets hacked and not able to pop the primal, and it's going to be Obligation capping with 1 minute and 59 seconds. 2 minutes, I mean.
Now, this is what I want to see from Obligation. That was perfect, even though it almost went out. That team fight almost went out when Baby T was caught out by the Death Blossom from our Phone. But I have to say, Squirrel Ben just went insane on that fight. He landed those headshots on Phone, just killing him immediately, getting a 3K with his dragon, and follow up with another kill with his storm arrow, and then this guy was just hitting every single shot while they were trying to take the point. So I really like the stuff, you know. They stick to the entire composition of running the double sniper. Prove me wrong, I'm glad they did, because they took the round in a very dominant fashion, having 2 minutes left in their clock. Now, will Mob Mentality match this? That's the main question.
Yeah, mob mentality. We actually are going to see Obligation re-pull it out, and with this Hanzo and Squirrel Ben, I like this composition much more. They're also running the Ana, which is the Asian variant on this comp. Normally, the NA is actually the... Oh, it's going to be a switch back over to normalcy. That Ana though is still staying in Impact. The Asian region still favoring that Ana with the nano boost and the ability to sleep. Very potent, especially in this meta. Obviously, the very slim chance of sleeping an EMP and sleeping a primal or a death blossom is still there.
If you're good, you could do it. You know, that's literally the mentality right here. Asians
The
do like
mob
to
mentality.
Yeah, the mob mentality. There you go. But Asian teams do like to play super aggressive, so I'm not surprised that they do like running this Ana pick right here. It gives a lot of damage boost from the nano, but looks like mob mentality will just be hiding from some damage harm's way. Mr. Wolf doing a lot of damage actually from that damage boosted mercy shots right there, and mob mentality, no, they cannot get picked out right now. Looks like a dive coming out, but oh no,
I was gonna say the mercy with the two snipers is not a good position to be holding, but luckily Red Knight misses the jump since the sniper is able to get away and rotate around. Now that the As-6 is going to be a lot harder to push on, this pressure is starting to build up, and the Valve is not anywhere close to relieve it. It's going to take one pick from either team to kind of decide this point. Not able to put pressure on the point mob mentality is because of these snipers. As the Red Knight does dive in, he gets immediately booped back to the air and falls down low. Jula knocking a baby quit, falls as well. Both main supports dead. Phone, main damage falling for them. It's going to be Obligation pulling ahead in the fight. Pichu not actually... I can't tell if that was intentional or not.
I believe
Jula
so.
able to find a few on the back end, and though Obligation are able to take it, there's only 2 of them left on the point. And so they need, I think they're going to have to give away 1 or even 2 ticks here. Phone is going to come back in very fast.
Yeah, and look at Squirrel Ben. This guy has been coming so clutch for his team for the last couple of fights, and look at his positioning every single time. He's positioning out of the harm's way, and looks like there will be a dive coming in.
Falls.
Ooh,
Baby
that is not a
takes
good
off
look.
by Red Knight on the re-engage. Domination has that primal, he pops it. Coalescence is coming out. EMP used to the side of mob mentality, finding Domination. Pichu getting knocked down to make Domination, falling super low through that primal. Red Knight actually falling to Squirrel Ben's Hanzo. It's so good so far. Phone headshotting Pichu as of mech. Mob mentality getting several kills. The Bob cleaning up the Sombra. Nano onto Domination. They want to try and clutch this. They're trying so hard. Domination actually going for the tank instead of the Reaper behind him, pumping damage into his back. Is he able to cleave in this little tiny room? They're able to get a lot of damage, but does end up falling.
Look at Ana.
And the Ana and the Lucio are able to get out of the way, but Phone, the Death Blossom range, just a little bit too far, and they're able to find both supports with it, and it's going to be Mob Mentality capping A with 1:23.
That, I mean, you have to understand from the side of Obligations, once they saw that they will be losing this fight, they burn as much as time possible, which I do respect. But in this case, looks like they have a lot of ultimates coming out from Mob Mentality. Corp has a beat ready. Ooh. Red Knight has a primal, and Jula has a bomb. So you have to be very careful about Mr. Wolf. Ooh, picking up the handsome man himself. Yeah, really interesting. Well, let's look at what happens here.
Mr. Wolf is Mr. Bamf as he pulls out the McQueen. Red Knight getting booped away onto the original dive. The McQueen putting a lot of pressure. The stealth check gets thrown in. The beat able to continue it up. Baby does actually die through the beat. Red Knight finding one with primal. And Tudong are actually falling to the side of Mob Mentality. And Quit as well. They don't have any supports. Mob needs to finish this up quick as Jula finds full change with the bomb. They are on a clock now. Without the supports, any damage they take is permanent. Kilroy finding Baby, but Red Knight falling onto that high ground after getting slept by Basket. The Ana on this high ground is just keeping the team alive, and it's actually going to be Obligation who looks like they pull ahead in this fight. Domination switching over to the Wrecking Ball just to stall. But
And I have to give this to Obligation. Like Basket's positioning here just gave so much value into this into the last fight, because he was able to, and Basket was able to land multiple anti grenades, just negating any type of healing coming out of Mob Mentality. And looks like now the ultimate charts have been flipped. Phone has a Death Blossom. You have to be very careful if you are Obligations right now. You have to watch out for that.
yeah, it looks like they're running the San Francisco Shock variant with the Tracer Hanzo as striker, the best tracer in the world. Mr. Wolf probably not up to those standards, but he's gonna have to be close to pull this one off. Basket getting pressured hard. The grenade is barely keeping him alive. He's so low into that high ground, but he actually does follow the EMP, finding 4 for the side of Obligation. Mr. Wolf trying to build up to that pulse bomb, and it needs to be huge, and he gets hacked out of it. Actually, I believe. The hack coming out, Basket has that nano, but he's not going to get to use it as they cap with the slight.
Ooh, domination.
216. Yeah, domination in the back. Wasn't able to touch.
Wow. It was a much closer match. Only deferred by 16 minutes. But the same thing happened last time. They were only, the difference between the time bank was literally 2 seconds, and Mob Mentality still managed to come at the top. So I'm liking what I'm seeing with Obligations, but I think Mob Mentality now knows who to pressure and who to target. They realized that Squirrel Ben was just doing so much work, and Basket was being a huge value for Obligations. So next time when they did the dive for the last fight, they made sure to lock down Squirrel Ben and Basket as much as possible, utilizing Kilroy's hack multiple times on Baby T, just so there's no type of escape. But looks like Mr. Wolf will be switching back to the Reaper, some more burst damage. But Squirrel Ben sticking to his bread and butter right now, going to the Hanzo pick that he's seen so much success with.
I think after how long it took them to cap A and how close it was, domination would really favor the Winston here. But I guess he is going to go on to that Reinhardt again. I personally just don't like it. But Squill, okay, he does switch over to Winston. Thank goodness. Squill, though, the Saba, oh, and he switches back. Castle Curse indeed.
I do like what I'm seeing from the chat right here, actually, Mob. A lot of love coming out from Obligations. I was expecting more chanting for Mob Mentality, but not so much. So a lot of love from Obligation. I love to see a chat. Keep going. Keep cheering the team on. They could hear you. Give them all your Dragon Ball Z energies from the anime world. You know what I'm talking about? The energy of friendshipness, all that stuff, the good stuff, the juicy stuff. But looks like the team is looking forward to rotating over to the high ground. They're just playing this mind game right now. Pichu is actually on the point.
The dive does come out by Red Knight. He gets knocked off the high ground. That Winston and D.Va not able to get up. The phone does get slapped, but they're not able to assassinate him. Domination gets hacked after the charge and falls in the back line. Now Red Knight is anti. He falls super low and he falls as well. The Basket getting knocked off the map by Quir, though. Phone falling, though they lose.
Another one. Oh my God, Court B.
Quir getting 3 with boops, 2 off the map, 1 with the kill. Though Mob Mentality win this fight, I think the next one's going to be a big danger.
Oh my God, Court B has been such a terror for Obligation.
I want
every single time.
I want to point out, Court P obviously lighting up the kill feed, but baby, he's keeping on track with his ultimate from Court P. But Court P got 2 knockoffs the map. Huge fire strike, netting a lot of damage from domination. Jula,
oh my God, Red
Knight just gets destroyed on the high ground. I believe Storm Arrows just melting him down. Pichu finishing off. Domination just swinging, but he's not noticing his health as EMP comes out, finds the rest of them. It's True Dongo using the Coalescence, but gets headshot by Hanzo, shutting it down. The Nano comes out the Squirrel Band. They know the win condition. They know the God player. He has the Death Boss. Not Death Boss. Death Boss gets canceled. For the sleep, Squirrel Bed hacked on point, but a hack isn't going to stop the arrows from connecting to your head. The beat comes out. Squirrel Bed does fall. A lot of ultimates for the side of Obligation, but they're not going to be able to touch with them. Oh, 4 ultimates. Just, they do not transfer into the next round. I don't think anyone told Obligation that.
And it's just so sad to see this, because Obligation was just playing so good. Squirrel Ben is putting the team behind his back, getting all these picks, all these crucial kills, but it just doesn't matter at the end of the day. I think Domination's charge at the very beginning of the first fight was not the best choice. You don't want to charge in blank. into a team where they have a Reaper that could literally just stare at you like boom boom, that's it, you're done, two mouse clicks. And you have somebody like Kilroy who's very precise, very accurate with that people he needs to hack. So I think I think that was not the best idea. But look at Court P hovering over the Zenyatta. Maybe we'll see some Discord orbs right here, and True Donger going over to the Lucio. A little bit of hero swaps right here. I think they could pull it off. But look at the side of domination.
I think it's just a meme from a Mob Mentality, but one thing to point out, Mob Mentality is up 2 in the series. So, and with the not capping on A, the best possible opportunity is to draw, and they'll still be on match point 2-0 going into map 4. But Mob Mentality, all it takes is probably a single kill, and that's the series.
Yeah, that's definitely too. It looks like Court P will be swapping back to their signature pick right here, Lucio, and True Donger going back to the Moira. But I still think Obligation has a chance right there if they play this correctly. Just like we talked about before, a lot of pick potential coming out from Mr. Wolf and Squirrel Ben. Let's see what happens.
Domination's hacked. No. He's able to get on the sideline of his Ana, and it saves his life. Bastion can be able to charge that Nano very quickly.
Huge hook!
And he finds the kill with it, but actually abandons the high ground after getting the kill. A very interesting decision to make. Squirrel Ben killing True Donger though. And honestly, this is very smart because these players from Mob Mentality need to get out. They need to, and also Obligation needs to hit W and find these stagger kills. Actually, the waiting on the edge, all of them can actually cross that gap, but only D.Va opts to.
Yeah, Mob Mentality. We're definitely on the back foot right here. We only have a minute 20 seconds left. Oh my god! Kilroy and phone.
Full DPS down for Mob Mentality, as it's going to be probably about 1 minute left on the clock when they're able to engage again.
Oh my god, if you are Obligations fan right now, the chat, I know that's a lot of you right there. This is the time, the prime time from Obligations right here. You need to be happy. Those picks were unbelievable. Oh my god, Squirrel.
That's going to delay it another 15 seconds. This is final fight territory, and they have the big ultimate advantage. The only question, they need to shut down Kilroy. If Kilroy gets his EMP and it's big, it could mean disasters for Obligation. They have a big ultimate advantage.
Yeah, look at Mr. Wolf right now. He has Bob. That means a seventh person actually on your team. You cannot, you can't
Big Dynamite comes out. The Dragon comes out to find Court P. Court P immediately out of the fight. The Mario is falling super low. They don't have time to wait for this. They have to engage. Red Knight dives onto Domination. The Coalescence coming out. Red Knight falling super low, but the Coalescence keeping him high.
Oh no, Basket
using his ultimate. Basket falling, dying with that Nano. So unfortunate as Bob goes off the map. Court P finds Squirrel. The Clutch is dead. Pichu killing Kilroy Phone. Mr. Wolf, Jula, all finding pixels on the res, tries to come out, and Domination finds True Donger. The Phone with the Death Blossom applies enough damage, and Mob Mentality will take the series 3-0. But I will be damned. I would be a damn liar if I didn't say that it wasn't a fight.
It was definitely a fight, and that's what I love to see in cast. We all do, and look at this beautiful play coming out for Court B. They were just being such a game factor, win factor right here for Mob Mentality, just running down everyone. Doesn't matter, they're not scared, they don't care about your Storm Arrow, whatever you have to say, no sleep, just pushing people off left and right, doesn't even care. Getting that boop kill too at the end. What a way to end this match and series. And I have to say, wow, I'm really liking what I'm seeing, Mob, right here from both of these teams.
Yeah, I would also like to, if any of you are sensitive to it, I would like to apologize if you would consider the wording that I used to be swearing. But anyway, what a good match from Mob Mentality. Mob Mentality still maintaining their perfect record in the season so far. Now 3-0. Obligation falling in the standings after being in most people's #1 power ranking. Not very disappointing because they're putting a good fight against these top teams, but not able to pull out the victory, not even able to take a map. And I believe we are doing interviews.
Yeah, and we are definitely doing interviews, and I definitely have somebody in my mind right now. This person has been coming up in the kill feed left and right, Mob. They have been such a key factor for Mob Mentality so far. I think it's time to call in Court B.
Yep,
They deserve
I'm
it.
on it. I'm going to go get them if I can find it.
Yeah, but you know, I really have to say, Obligations put up a really nice fight. A lot of close counters. Like seriously, last match two in Dorado, only 2 seconds difference between the time bank and the match in Gibraltar, only 16 seconds. So I think they're just a little bit behind. Some tweaks and some advantages between the players and their picks, and really just understanding how the shadow dive composition works, utilizing that against you, which we saw actually at Gibraltar last point. I think if they do that, if Obligations are allowed to or can achieve that, they could definitely come out top right here and take this, take away a majority of the wins from Mob Mentality. But so far, Mentality have been looking quite strong. So
Um, so it is Quirt's internet. They did lose their internet. I don't know
oh, they'll
if
be back. They'll be back. No worries. No worries. He's a Lucio player. He knows how to get back up soon and just get back to his running. Get back to their running. Excuse me. And yeah, I think they'll be back soon, and I'm excited
yeah,
to talk to them.
we will find out pretty soon if it's going to be or not. If they do end up going in, we are going to interview Jula for that amazing diva performance, especially some of those clutch plays, especially on Dorado. Um, we'll give it a few more seconds to
Yeah, we're gonna give it
see.
a little bit more time if Court B is back because I want to talk to that person. That they have been amazing so far. So I'm just waiting. We're just waiting right here. As soon as their internet comes back, they will be all good. But if not, like Mob mentioned, we will be going for. It was
I
interesting.
will. I'll give him
I
some
will say,
time,
yeah,
and
yeah, I'll definitely give him some time. But Mob, do we want? Oh, Court is here. Court P is here. So we do have a interview on the line. Anybody excited from the chat? Any questions you want to ask Court P? This is your time. This is
uh,
the time.
yeah, I quit. I'm gonna try to talk to them, and after we talk to Quid, I think I might do a little bit of explaining about. There probably is some questions about why Obligation ran that Sigma Hog variant, so I'd love
Mm-hmm.
to explain it. We do
Oh yeah,
have
definitely.
Quid. They are in lobby 3B. If one of our lobbyists or streamers could pull them in.
Yep, we're just getting some technical difficulty situations. Can anybody pull them in? But chat, don't worry, we will have the interview ready for you. In the meantime, tell us, Chat, how has your day been? Tell us about that. Is it beautiful people coming to the
I'll be right
stream,
back.
watching our games? Tell us how has your day been so far. Talk to me, chat. I love talking to the chat. But other than that, we're just waiting around right here. I think both teams did a great job again. I saw a lot of I was reading the chat actually while we are casting the game, and oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Kilroy. Thank you. I'll definitely take that compliment anytime. But other than that, I think both team oh wow, Nose. Thank you so much, Nas, for ruining my moment. Anyways, like I was saying, I think both teams did a really great job. We've seen some great stuff coming out. And other than that, we are just waiting for both my partner to come back with our designated interviewee, which will be Court P nonetheless. Yeah, Court P is coming. Phone is actually just updating here. Don't worry. We're just setting up everything. But like I said, I am excited for that interview right here, and really looking forward to it. Somebody said hot. Saito Gaming, thank you so much. Was that meant towards me though? I would love to take that compliment from you. Yeah, that would be perfect. Let's just do that. Let's just do that.
With the hogs. Okay.
We're moving here for you.
We're moving
Stream is now
Okay.
here. Welcome to the casting booth.
Okay.
Oh, Sai's in the wrong one. Okay. There you go.
Oh, I'm here. We're all here.
Okay.
Okay, but let's go ahead, Corpy. What a performance you had on that game. Like, I have to say, your performance at Gibraltar was amazing. We've seen some great stuff coming out. So would you mind explaining to us, how does your team, we see a lot of aggression coming out from your Lucio actually. Does your team really adapt to that play style of yours, or you're just allowed to do whatever you want and your team knows how to adapt to the situation all over? Or do you guys go in with a mindset or even a game plan of being that aggressive?
Really, it's a lot of red telling me to go more aggressive, and then so I just go fast, and it works. Red Knight's he's the main shot caller for us.
That's good to hear. So as you continue through the season now, 3-0, taking down the third seed obligation, it really depends on how Double Cap does. I do know they lost map 1 against Guangzhou. I don't know how they're doing currently, but if they lose, you will take the #1 seed and be the only undefeated intermediate team. How does that feel?
I mean, it'd be nice. The teams I've been on before haven't always performed very well, so it's nice to be on a really good team.
Yeah, as a player myself, it's definitely nice to have those good components around you to make up a solid team. I can definitely tell on how you guys play. Red Knight's shot calling is very nice, and you guys play together as a unit. Do you think, as I was saying, the composition that you primarily ran with the Winston Diva Samba composition is more based on team coordination. Have you experimented with the Hagen Sigma comp, or are you not willing to disclose that?
I've never seen that comp in my life.
Okay. Did you make any adaptations specifically against the composition, or who was the person to do it if it was?
If there was someone that would be calling like for a comp change, it would probably be either red or true. But we like to stick on what we're good at.
Yeah, and you're good at it. You are. As the Overwatch League meta evolves, I'm worried that it might evolve in this level as well. Obligation did opt to run some of that, though you were able to crush it with your superior coordination. Sai, do you have any more questions?
Oh yeah, I would love to end with the last question. In the entire league, is there any specific team or any specific player you guys are really watching out for, or want to verse, or to make your statement right now? What would that team or that person would be? I just want to know that.
I mean, we're excited to play against Double Cap, as
Hey.
they seem to probably be up there in the top of the league.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting to me, Mob. I'm glad. I'll definitely opt in to cast that match.
Well, I can tell you, currently the Double Cap versus Guangzhou Gangsters is 1-1 on Anubis. They are paused. So it is actually going to be a while till that match finishes up. But thank you, Quit. It was a great interview. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and thank you for the matches. Or for the match, I believe.
Okay.
And I think we are just about ready to close out. I will save my explanation for the Hog Sigma composition for another day. And I am excited to see you all next week, Sai, and I hope to see you there as well. Thanks for watching.
I'm excited too.
And make sure to tune in tomorrow for Expert and Novice, and then on Sunday for Advanced. I'll see you all next week. Thanks for tuning in, and goodbye.
Cool. Guys.